series. They're basically two tiny coils in each pickup. And underneath the cover, between each of the magnets you see, there is another magnet that's lower. The concept was, let's take a good single coil and then split it in half.
Okay.
And if we do everything, we make the coils. One of my operating principles is I want a big coil.
Okay.
And I don't want it to be a tightly wound big coil. I want it to be a big coil that is kind of open and not, like I said, not tight. I don't want to say loose, because I don't want it to be loose, but I want it to be a nice, fatly wound coil. That principle goes to the big single pickups that we make for basses, and just a lot of different things.
Okay.
My Strat pickups are like that. So inside that cover, it is wall-to-wall wire wrapped around those coils. It just barely fits inside the cover.
Okay.
Yeah. And so to get the output, we had to add the magnets in between, because if you just take it and just do it, if all you had were the magnets that you see, the output would be too low to really use.
Okay.
We also have a metal base plate on the bottom of it, which helps bring up the inductance of the whole system, which again, it gets the output up again. So the concept was split the pickup, a good single coil in half, and then the other thing that I do is I wind them a little bit differently, because when you wind things exactly the same, like we were talking about humbuckers earlier,
Right.
they tend to sound kind of flat and kind of hi-fi, clean, a little too sort of plain and sterile to me.
Right.
This is just let's try to make a hum canceling pickup that really sounds like a single coil.
Well, it absolutely does. So, like, compared to, I'm going to take, let's say let's say you buy a USA Strat off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Output of these pickups compared to output of those pickups, similar, a little more, a little bit less?
These are going to be lower actual voltage,
Mm-hmm.
but the impedance reading, the DCR reading, is going to be probably a little higher than what you would think.
Mm-hmm.
Although we did manage to get them to read fairly low. I can't remember the exact numbers on these, but that's a common misconception, is your DC resistance is equal to output. This is not true. If you're looking at all single coil Strat pickups,
Mm-hmm.
and the wire's the same,
Right.
it's somewhat true.
Yeah.
But because this is such a different pickup, it's not going to relate.
It's not really,
Another example, we make these big single pickups and then we make dual coils for bass. And the dual coil run in series is something like 20K ohms, which you would go, oh my God, that's so much output. And it's a loud, obnoxious pickup in series for sure, but the big single probably sounds broader and louder, and it's only, 9K, 8 or 9K.
Okay.
So you can't,
You're
you
comparing, not
could run
comparing
into
apples
trouble
to
quickly
apples,
if you start to say, what's the output on that pickup? Because then you think, we were talking earlier about how you approach music.
Right.
You start to think you know what the pickup's going to sound like. And with the case of these, taking a number and using it to establish some idea of what you think that pickup sounds like is not a fair
Not a good way to go.
Yeah.
I'm just trying, not necessarily to have, I'll say, a number behind it, just to sort of give people an idea. If I put these in my Strat and I'm replacing
if you
the
replace
stock, is it going to seem...
That's why I said the actual voltage is a little less than a regular single coil Strat pickup, because they are a little quieter. And you will have to give a little more love
adjust some stuff,
from your gains.
Now let me ask you a question, because I actually... That's a very big problem for me, because like I was saying, I have the Strat or Telly, and then I'll have the Les Paul 335. So I basically got these hugely, and I mean the output is enormously different.
Right.
And I'll use something like a clean boost, a variety of clean boosts. In your experience, using a clean boost to boost up a Strat, is that a pretty accurate representation still, assuming it's a decent pedal?
Yeah, it should be, yeah.
Okay.
The problem is when you start to run pedals that are highly dependent on the impedance of the pickup, like the fuzz pedals, your big muffs and things, where it's it's a real simple circuit and the input impedance on it is very interactive with what's coming out of the guitar. that makes it a lot trickier because you don't want to put your clean boost in front of that.
Yeah, and then it jacks it all up.
It won't work right.
Right.
So you need to run the guitar straight into a pedal like that. In that case, yeah, it's very challenging.
Fortunately, I think most guys don't use I mean, I don't even use a fuzz on every gig. They're so temperamental. And
yeah.
I wouldn't have known in a million years that they were not. I don't know. Would you say it's a true single coil, or would you say it's?
Oh, it's not a true single coil.
So it's definitely not. And I wouldn't have known that in a million years if you didn't tell me.
The idea was true single coil tone.
Yeah. As if it's out of phase. I guess it's not.
Oh,
is it out of phase?
The in-between sounds?
The in-between sound?
No, well, this is like what a humbucker does, except the coils are further apart.
Okay.
So there's like this mode phase cancellation that happens, but they're not out of phase.
Got it.
So that's where that scoopy sound comes from, which that's a common problem with hum canceling Strat pickups, is you lose that quacky in-between sound. And if you go like to the neck metal position, which is a classic kind of open, broad, scoopy sound. For clarity, this is my clear underwound set of these Shush Puppies. So these are the cleanest pickups that we make in this style.
Okay.
And it does this the best. The more you overwind a pickup, the less of this particular quacky neck middle placement.
So as you wind them more, am I correct in saying it kind of attenuates highs and lows?
It does.
So
because you're adding apparent mid-range.
Okay, so you give the illusion of more mid-range, but it's really an attenuation of the high and the low. Or
I like to think about it as both.
Okay.
Both things are going on. When you add wire, you're taking a signal that's a smiley face, and you're adding here, but you're also taking down on the outside.
Okay.
So I like to say it's less apparent lows and highs.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is got a really